Have you ever wondered how a young man in his late 20s ascended to the helm of one of the world's most isolated and secretive nations? This is not just any ordinary tale, but a real-life saga filled with intrigue and mystery. This is a story that unfolds against the backdrop of a country shrouded in enigma and cloaked in secrecy, a nation that, for all its notoriety, is intriguingly opaque and notoriously clandestine. We're referring to North Korea, a land that's as perplexing as it is provocative, a country that, in spite of its isolation from the rest of the world, commands an undeniable global presence. A nation that, despite its multitude of contradictions, continues to be an enigma that captures the world's attention and curiosity. At the heart of this enigmatic nation is its supreme leader, Kim Jong Un, a young man in his late 20s when he first took the reins of power. How did it happen? How did such a young man come to command a nation known for its impenetrability and inscrutability? The answers to these questions form the crux of the narrative that we are about to unfold. His rise to power wasn't a gradual progression. It was an abrupt elevation that shook the world. It was a move that was as surprising as it was shrouded in mystery. How does a young man, barely past his youth, find himself at the helm of one of the world's most elusive nations? This is a question that has intrigued political analysts, historians, and onlookers from all walks of life. We delve deep into this mystery, separating fact from fiction, sifting through the layers of secrecy that veil this intriguing tale. We delve into the labyrinth of his rise, the nuances of his leadership, the enigma of his persona, and the puzzle that his reign presents. Today we delve into the enigmatic rise of North Korea's supreme leader, Kim Jong Un. Born in 1984, Kim Jong Un is the youngest son of former leader Kim Jong Il. A significant figure in North Korea's political landscape, Kim Jong Un was born in the heart of a tumultuous decade, a time of significant change both locally and internationally. Despite being the youngest, he was the one to carry on the legacy of his father, a testament to his resilience and determination. There is much speculation about his initial years, largely because of the secrecy that surrounds the North Korean leadership. He was initially not seen as the obvious successor. Many were inclined to believe that it was his older brothers, Kim Jong-nam and Kim Jong-chul, who were destined to take up the mantle. These elder siblings, with their greater experience and maturity, seemed like more plausible candidates for continuing the lineage of their father. However, the world of politics is often unpredictable, and North Korea was no exception. As it happened, the mantle of leadership was not inherited by the older, seemingly more prepared siblings. Instead, it was the young Kim Jong-un who found himself destined for the role of leadership. This surprising turn of events took many by surprise, as Kim Jong-un's ascension to power was not something that many had anticipated. His early life remained shrouded in mystery, concealed by the thick veil of North Korea's stringent information control. His upbringing, heavily influenced by the political climate of North Korea, was one that was carefully molded and sculpted. Despite the lack of information about his early life, it is widely believed that he spent his initial years under the loving care of his mother, Ko Young-hwae. Growing up in North Korea's capital, Pyongyang, Kim Jong-un was no stranger to the political world. In the capital city, where political intrigue and power games were a part of everyday life, Kim Jong-un's childhood was anything but ordinary. The young Kim Jong-un was exposed to the ideals and beliefs of the ruling party from a tender age, with his mother playing a crucial role in his ideological education. It is said that his mother, Ko Young-hwae, despite her unassuming background, was a formidable woman with a strong will and an unwavering devotion to her country. She played an invaluable role in molding Kim Jong-un, instilling in him not only the ideals of the Workers' Party of Korea, but also a deep commitment to his country. This, undoubtedly, played a significant role in preparing him for the responsibilities that lay ahead. Ko Young-hwae's teachings were not just about politics and leadership. She nurtured him with care and love, instilling in him a strong sense of self-belief and resilience. She was his guiding light, his anchor in the stormy seas of North Korean politics. Through her, he learned the importance of perseverance and dedication, qualities that would later become instrumental in his rise to power. During these formative years, he was groomed for leadership, inculcated with the ideals of the Workers' Party of Korea, the ruling party Korea. This preparation was subtle yet profound, and it was during this time that the foundations for his future leadership were laid. He was taught to understand the complexities of governance, the importance of unity, and the value of steadfastness in the face of adversity. Throughout his youth, he was meticulously prepared for the monumental task of leading his country. His training was comprehensive, covering all aspects of leadership and governance. This meticulous preparation, coupled with his inherent determination and resilience, played a significant role in shaping him into the leader he is today. All of these experiences, the lessons learned, and the values instilled contributed to the formation of the man who would one day lead North Korea. They shaped his leadership style and influenced his decisions, playing a critical role in his evolution from a young boy to the leader of a nation. It is said that during this time, he was groomed for leadership, inculcated with the ideals of the Workers' Party of Korea, the ruling party of North Korea. In the early 2000s, Kim Jong Un, the enigmatic leader of North Korea, embarked on an educational journey that took him far from his native land. His destination was Switzerland, a country known for its neutrality, scenic beauty, and high-quality education. It was a world away from the reclusive confines of North Korea, and a world that was strikingly different from the one he had known thus far. Unlike North Korea, Switzerland was characterized by its openness, a stark contrast to the limited exposure he had experienced until then. Kim Jong Un was thrust into this new environment with the intent of gaining an education that would prepare him for the leadership role that was his inevitable destiny. His father, Kim Jong-il, knew that it was of utmost importance for his heir to understand the world outside North Korea, especially the Western world. It was this understanding that would enable Jong-un to navigate the complex international relations that his position as leader would necessitate him to manage. Switzerland's educational system, famed for its excellent standards, provided Jong-un with a robust academic foundation. He was exposed to a multitude of subjects, encouraged to think critically, and to weigh different perspectives. Beyond textbooks and classrooms, however, his Swiss education also extended to cultural exposure. His interaction with his Swiss peers and teachers, along with his exposure to Swiss society, exposed him to Western culture and ideas. This experience was not just about academics. It was an educational journey that was as much about shaping his worldview as it was about equipping him with academic knowledge. This Swiss exposure played an instrumental role in shaping Jong-un's leadership style. It provided him with a perspective that was distinct from the one he would have gained if his education had been limited to North Korea. It was an experience that would later influence his leadership style, making him a leader unlike any other in North Korea's history. Following his return to North Korea, Kim Jong-un began to emerge from the shadows as he started to accompany his father on several public outings, which was seen as an indication that he was being prepared for the highest leadership role. This marked the start of what would become a significant and powerful era in North Korean history. Despite being relatively young and inexperienced, Kim Jong-un's ascendance to the leadership position was both rapid and unexpected. He was often seen at his father's side during various state functions, gradually becoming a familiar face to the North Korean public and the rest of the world. It was during these appearances that he started to carve out a unique identity for himself. Despite his young age, he depicted a demeanor that was equal parts charismatic and enigmatic, managing to captivate audiences both domestically and internationally. Slowly but surely, he began assuming influential roles within the North Korean political landscape. His father, Kim Jong-il, wasted no time in assigning him to high-ranking posts within the Workers' Party. This move was seen as a clear indication of the father's intention to hand over the reins of power to his son. Being entrusted with such responsibilities at such age was an indication of the high expectations placed on him. And then came the year 2009. This marked a significant milestone in Kim Jong-un's political journey as he was officially recognized as the second in command. This further solidified his position as the rightful heir to his father's throne. The recognition sent a clear message to the world that Kim Jong-un was not just a mere figurehead, but a force to be reckoned with, indicating that he was being primed to eventually over the leadership role from his father. His appointment to this significant role was a clear indication that the stage was set for him to take over the reins of the North Korean leadership. His rapid rise was both astounding and awe-inspiring, setting the stage for a new era in North Korean leadership. This journey, from being a relatively unknown figure to assuming the second highest position in the country, was a remarkable feat that furthered his image as a formidable figure in the global political landscape. Finally, he was appointed to senior positions in the Workers' Party, and in 2009, he was officially recognized as the second in command. Our tale pivots on a crucial moment in history, the year 2011. A period of momentous change, characterized by the passing of the controversial and enigmatic figure, Kim Jong-il. His death sent shockwaves reverberating throughout the global community, marking the end of an era. This occurrence was not just a simple transition of power, it was a seminal event that redefined the North Korean narrative. As news of the demise spread, the eyes of the world were drawn towards this secluded nation, shrouded in an irresistible aura of mystery. The international community was on edge, their collective breath held in anticipation, apprehension coloring their expectations. The leadership of the Hermit Kingdom was now to rest in decidedly younger hands. This young man was Kim Jong Un, barely into his 30s, and was suddenly thrust into the spotlight, the weight of his father's legacy etched in the shadows behind him. Who was he? Amid the whispers and conjectures, a single question surfaced. Could this inexperienced youth navigate the tumultuous waters of global politics and uphold the idiosyncratic sovereignty of his nation? The world watched, captivated and unsure, as the young Kim Jong Un, barely into his 30s, took over the reins of the Hermit Kingdom. The unfolding of a new chapter had begun, the ink still wet, its outcome hidden in the fog of the uncertain future. In the primary phase of his reign, the North Korean leader, Kim Jong Un, dedicated his efforts to solidifying his influence and control. His focus was singular: to establish his authority and ensure there were no uncertainties regarding who was in charge. Within the North Korean hierarchy, many were potential threats to his rule, including those within his own family. The ruthless strategy he adopted saw him oust potential competitors, among them his own uncle, Jang Song-taek. In what was a brutal display of power, purge was a clear message to anyone who dared challenge Kim's leadership. It was a strategy, cold and calculated, that effectively removed any immediate threats to his rule, effectively solidifying his position within the North Korean power structure. In an attempt to strike a balance between absolute control and progress, Kim Jong Un also initiated steps to advance the country's economy. He had a vision: to modernize North Korea whilst maintaining a firm grip over its people. His economic plan was set within the confines of an autocratic regime, ensuring progress without relinquishing control. This firm grip on the country's economy with his iron-fisted rule mirrored his dual approach to governance. He thus managed to consolidate his power while balancing economic growth and absolute control over the populace. He continued to lead the country forward, albeit under his strict control and watchful eye. It was a strategy that earned him both admiration and fear, but it was a strategy that worked. Kim Jong Un, through his actions, proved that he was a leader not to be trifled with. In the initial years of his rule, Kim Jong Un focused on consolidating his power. He also sought to modernize the country's economy while maintaining strict control over the populace. Kim Jong Un, a name that has been the subject of international discussions, has been a controversial figure on the global stage. His actions, decisions, and policies have drawn criticism, intrigue, and speculation from around the world. At the heart of the controversy is his relentless pursuit of nuclear weapons and ballistic missile technology, a pursuit that has ruffled feathers in the international community. This pursuit has not only challenged globally accepted norms, but has also led to heightened tensions, especially between North Korea and numerous other nations. The United States, in particular, has been a vocal critic of Kim's policies, leading to a complex and strained relationship marked by threats, fiery rhetoric, and retaliatory actions. Amidst the controversy and tension, Kim Jong Un has also demonstrated a surprising side, a willingness to engage in diplomacy. He has extended olive branches to world leaders, a move that has been both praised and criticized. One of the most notable instances of this diplomatic outreach was his meeting with former US President Donald Trump. Despite the global condemnation, Kim Jong Un remains an enigmatic figure, showcasing a mix of aggression and diplomacy. In conclusion, Kim Jong Un's rise to power has been marked by an intricate blend of strategic positioning, ruthless purges, and a staunch, unwavering adherence to the principles laid out by his predecessors. His ascendancy to the throne of leadership was not a simple feat. It was a sonata of orchestrated movements, carefully calculated to ensure a smooth transition of power. He emerged from the shadows of his father and grandfather, carrying with them not only their names, but also their political ideologies. The ruthless purges that marked his initial years were not mere acts of consolidation. They were strategic, almost surgical in their precision. Each purge weeded out perceived threats, ensuring complete dominance and control over the political landscape. They were a testament to his unyielding will to maintain power, showcasing his determination to rule. His adherence to the principles of his predecessors was not a mere act of homage. It was the continuation of a long-standing political tradition, upholding the ideologies that had kept the Kim dynasty in power for generations. He exhibited an almost religious reverence for these principles, treating them as the cornerstone of his governance. His leadership has seen North Korea continue on its path of isolation and militarization. At the same time, he has shown a keen interest in modernizing the country's economy, making strides towards breaking down the barriers of isolation and opening up the nation to global engagement. Even as he seeks to modernize the country's economy and engage with the world, the shadows of the past and the threat of the future loom large. From a young boy growing up in the secretive corridors of Pyongyang to the supreme leader of North Korea, Kim Jong Un's journey has been as intriguing as it is controversial. Born into a lineage of power, Kim Jong Un was destined for a unique path. His childhood, shrouded in mystery as much as the city to which he was born, is largely unknown to the world. Amid a regime known for its closed-off nature, the glimpses we catch of Jong-un's early life are few and far between. At a young age, Kim Jong-un was introduced to the harsh realities of political power, watching his father, Kim Jong-il, rule with an iron fist. His teenage years were reportedly in Switzerland, a paradoxical respite from the repressive regime he was destined to inherit. Upon his return, he was shaped by the intricate workings of North Korean politics, molded into a leader in the shadow of his forebears. The rise to power was swift, his father's death catapulting him to the helm of North Korea. Kim Jong-un's reign has been marked by nuclear threats, international sanctions, and intense scrutiny from the global community. His leadership continues to shape the destiny of North Korea and its people, and the world watches on, waiting to see what the future holds for this enigmatic leader.